but you also had the John Greenleaf Whittier Room as well. Is there anything you'd like to talk about that?
Well, it has sort of an interesting beginning. It was begun by Whittier's classmates who had a celebration, I think in 1887, for their 50th anniversary of graduating or attending the first class of Haverhill Academy in 1827.
Wow.
And Whittier was the honored guest, and they feted him a bit. And then they decided to form a Whittier club, like a fan club, I suppose it was.
That's nice.
And one of the prime function was to secure one copy of each one of his works and deposit them in the Haverhill Public Library.
That's great.
And they had one of their classmates, who was a portrait painter, rather elderly at this point, paint Whittier's portrait, which was given to the library to be placed in the main room. Mm-hmm. That fellow had been the court painter to the King of Naples, and he was born on Merrimack Street in Haverhill. Yes. And the portrait is downstairs now, but we think it'll be back in the Whittier Room eventually.
How much material would you say, and what kind of material is in that?
Anything to do with Whittier. We have a copy of, we believe, every book which was published by Whittier, but more interesting than that, I think, is the collection of books about Whittier's friends and acquaintances. Mm-hmm. But it also includes 2 file cabinets of photographs of everything to do with Whittier that you could possibly think of.
That's excellent.
The house, his friends.
Well, here we are at the John Greenleaf Whittier Room at the Public Library here in Haverhill, and it really is a nice place.
It was formerly just for the trustees alone, but when it became advisable to put all the Whittier material in one place, mm-hmm. this room was converted to a scientifically controlled area where all these books, this is the best collection of Whittier memorabilia anywhere. Mm-hmm. All the books and all the material that's been written about him, as well as what he wrote. And so this is all set for scholars and students. They're the only ones that can come in. It's by appointment or by arrangement with the library people, and it's being preserved that way. But we have some treasures in here as well.
Sure.
We have probably the most valuable painting about Whittier Ma that we know of. It's insured for more than $30,000, but it shows the birthplace and the area the way it was when he was alive. And you can see sitting in the foreground, what should be the barefoot boy on the bridge. But there's that road, which, as we said at the birthplace, was the main road out of Haverhill toward Amesbury.
Yeah.
You can see how much is still the same today as it was then.
Yeah.
How it's been preserved. And it's a cooperation of the city. Except for paving the road, it stayed the same. Right. The city, with a grant, bought up a lot of land on the other side of the barn on the far right, mm-hmm. because somebody was going to build a housing development down there. Yeah. So we got a grant from the state, and the city worked on it and bought up all that land, so it would stay just the way it was in Whittier's day. And over to our left, beyond the entrance here, is one of the best portraits of Whittier as a mature poet and one of the outstanding literary persons of the country. Mm-hmm. So this room is here now to permanently preserve as much as possible the material relating to and written by Whittier. Right. First editions and scholarly works and stuff that studies have been done of his work by scholars for dissertations and people come from all over the country, really. Studies.
You said that this whole room is air conditioned, or
it's climatically conditioned so that the books and material won't deteriorate.
And how old are some of these books? Then they must be pretty old. You said a lot of them are first edition at that.
Yeah, he started actually, of course, right before the Civil War, and right afterwards when he started writing, and it's been going on ever since. He was recently enshrined a couple of years ago in the Poets' Corner of the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in New York City, the largest cathedral in the country. They have a special corner for literary greats. And Whittier was inducted into that a couple of years ago, and there were some people there from Haverhill who went to the ceremony, and he's regarded in every area of literary studies is one of the foremost American writers.
Right.
And in what I used to call the golden age of American literature, he was one of the best.
Excellent.